This would be Friday, January 8th, as we get a chance to start. Actually, go ahead and put.
Please, on 13th.
She won't stand.
She's not a real person.
Oh, she won't stand?
Oh.
The lights are gonna go out.
Okay, that's just creepy on her.
Now we get to begin the joy of class. We'll turn off one of the lights. Look, it's flickering.
Moving.
Just really slowly. Let's see what we have from there. Make sure you have your book report, book choice in by Monday. We also have a quiz coming up on Monday, but we'll go through and review to get you guys there in a moment. Tie game was pictures of my, speaking of creepy children, my very own creepy children Charger Challenge coming up on Thursday. As of now, I have like 3 spots left, but I don't know if it'll be true by the end of the day. And we have the homework, the Fable homework, so make sure you get that information on there, download it, due next Wednesday, connected to the quiz on Monday. Download from there. Then you can, for now, let's see, how far did we get with Yalsies? Yalsies.
What's Yalsies?
That's Italian for small children.
I hate when people call
No,
me
it's not.
child.
Shh, child, talking. Go ahead and close the notebook or turn it over, however you want to do. We're going to see how much information is still in your childish heads. We'll try to go from, it's just going to happen now.
Not 7.
I know.
Would you like to know my tinfoil?
It goes in the bottom one over there. Alright. We'll see what all is in your brains. We have fables have been around for thousands of years and it made kids smart. Obviously not working today. You do realize that's not the bottom, girl. You paper it anyway. I apologize. That was my fault. I saw what you were doing. You were on the correct side. Bale! What was the first fable to exist thousands of years ago?
Traditional.
The traditional one with all types of old-timey stuff in there. And then eventually time went by and we came up with a new way of making fables that were all kind of specially. And Button, what was the new one?
Oh, verse.
Is verse, and verse are not written like the traditional ones. Tommy, how is a verse fable written?
Poem.
It is written as a poem, all rhyming with my mad rapping skills yesterday. We'll take a look at another verse fable today, which is better than anything I could possibly rap. And the most recent one, Aaron, that was created is modern, like traditional, but completely different. The modern fable, and with the modern fable, Mooey, how is that one going to be written?
Like with modern stuff?
And what is modern stuff?
Like selfie stick?
Today.
I do like a selfie stick. I can represent. Luke,
Today.
very technical word. Today-y stuff like selfie sticks.
Starbucks.
And creepy little dolls. All would work for me.
We're all the way back from
And let's see. In order for a fable to exist as a fable, Jeremy, what is it every fable has to have?
Moral.
It has to have a moral. And then from there, understand, Pharrell, what is a moral?
Oh, lesson learned.
Is correct. That's the lesson learned. And we'll get to a number of different ones today, along the lines of slow and steady wins the race. Or you should never light a squirrel on fire when it's inside your house. Never put your finger in a bear's nose. Stuff like that. That's why you have to read the fable. And then they'll have the little morals that teach you stuff.
I stuck my finger in.
Then we have Bale.
Animals that you need for the character.
Not there yet, but I like your thinking. We have the 5 characteristics that make a fable a fable. The first most important one, Garter, that you have to have for all of these is they have to have the moral to teach us and make us better people. And then Bale, what kind of characters we're going to have to make the kids pay attention?
Animals.
And that's where the animals come in because they're small and furry and good and soup. And then, let's see, from the weekly, if we are going to have kids pay attention all the way to the end where the learning happens, how long should they be? They should be short. And youngin', what type of tone should our fables have if we want kids to be entertained by them and not depressed? Close.
Loud.
Also,
Funny.
farther. That works. That's like loud, but different. The funny and amusing and few woodchucks with debilitating diseases. And then we have number 5. From that one, we'll go to Fuller. At what age do people stop becoming stupid? Because at what age are all fables aimed at? Every age. You're never too old to be an idiot. Mr. Brovicast, that's a life goal. So proud of you. Then it turns out we have one particular person who became famous for all these fables. Who was the most famously fably person of all? And Jumper, that would be?
I know it.
It does start with an A, and then has other letters.
Why would you
Nicely done. We have Aesop. Cole, roughly when did Aesop live and die?
500 BC.
I would have also taken a long time ago, like the 1980s, long time ago. They're both so far back there. Let's see. Originally, Brady, what country did he originally come from? He grew up in a small village before the people from other countries showed up to take him. It's a large one. It's not actually it's a continent, not a country. Starts with an A, ends with Fricka.
Africa?
Is correct. Came from Africa, grew up in a small village there until people from another country showed up to come and steal him, as you do from other countries. Andrew, because the people from the other country stole him, where did he spend most of his life? It is like England, but a little different, farther south, completely different country, another continent. But other than that, it was dead on. It does have an E in it, and another E, and another E, and a C, and a GR. Other than that, it's almost exactly like England.
So easy.
Well, yeah, we'll come back. Don't you worry. I have faith in you. Thorn. Thorn.
What?
I'm calling on you.
Oh, Greece.
Good job. He was born in Africa, but then spent most of his life in Greece because that's where he grew up as a slave. And became really good at telling all of these stories, and kids found him fascinating and flocked him all over to hear him tell all the stories, till eventually Andrew, he worked his way up to telling stories to the big kahuna himself, the most important person in Greece, which was close. They didn't call him a king, but it's the same thing. Begins with an imp and ends with a roar roar. It is correct, and worked his way up to being the guy that told the stories to the imp roar roar, and then being the fact that he was a slave and telling stories to the imp roar roar. Eventually, Inman, he was able to get the one thing that all slaves want, which is freedom. He was able to get his freedom, which brought him and tacos, which is as good as freedom, and was able to go from there. But if he were to try and tell his stories today in comp class, he would get himself in trouble, and it would be awful, because what is wrong with these stories he's trying to tell, young kid?
It's called plagiarism.
It is called plagiarism because he stole all of these stories from other people, but he was really good at making them sound interesting, so his teachers were like, oh, we'll forgive you. Until eventually he gets himself all killed and dead, which apparently is a bad thing. And how does he go about getting himself killed and dead, Grizzle? Remember how he dies?
I do.
It was teamwork that helps you out. They went together.
They killed it.
They did kill. Why did they kill him? Well, welcome. Mooey? It's okay.
Do a big second go down the lake.
Yes, and the splash overflowed and knocked him in and he drowned. No. And how does the gold kill him?
The people did not like him throwing all the gold down.
So what they do?
They beat him up.
Because what's going to work?
Teamwork.
See, bunch of animals in a TV show. And so when he refuses to give away the gold, they all rally together to kill him, and then he becomes all dead. At this point, he is no longer with us, and he has become all deadified. But we still have his stories with us today through the magic of this thing called oral tradition. But we have to figure out what oral tradition is. And Alana, remember what oral tradition is? It's something with the stories.
Yeah, like you tell it
Yes.
verbally.
And then what happens to the stories after you tell them verbally?
Some other person goes off and tells another person.
Perfect. When you tell someone the stories, and they tell the stories, and it gets passed down from person to person, and the stories go from there, and that is our oral tradition and why we still have them today. From there, we find out that because our fables are so short, and we're going to get to reading our fables here very shortly, we have to have these things called a motif, which is not what hillbillies ask for their dentist for Christmas. Motif is something about the characters in the story. And with Jeremy, what is a motif?
It's like the animals that go with the personality-ish kind of thing. Oh.
Works for me. It's like animal stereotyping, if you will, on the fact that we have the animal stereotypes. The same animal pops up in multiple stories. As an example from there, Spangler, if we were to have a stepmother in a fairy tale, what kind of character would she be? Almost every stepmother in every fairy tale is correct. The fact that normally she's going to be evil. Same thing happens, but with animals. Bale? Ready for the first one? Because if we were to throw an owl into our story, Bale, what kind of character would it be?
Wise.
It would be the wise and the smart one. If we wanted to have a bully or a mean one or a tough one to go around and push around pigs, or a girl that breaks into houses to eat porridge, or a whole bunch of mice and stuff like that, what kind of animals would we use for that one, Tommy?
Bear.
A bear would work. Button?
Bull.
A bull would definitely work. Jumper? a wolf to blow down the houses, and Lackner
Cat.
and the cat to bully around all those poor little mices. Let's see, then we have the sneaky thief, tricky one, who hopefully will show up in one of our stories today. Spangler, raccoon with the whole built-in little mask thing going for him. Young, a fox, but no one knows what he says. Alana,
A weasel.
and the weasel would also work in that same thing. And we have the good memory,
That's ironic. I can't remember.
Button,
Elephant.
an elephant who does not forget. And then channel, if we have a rabbit or a cheetah in our story, what kind of character will they be? They will be the fast and the speedy ones. I think that's as far as we got for you guys before.
Yeah.
So now you can flip it back over and we'll write in the last couple. Because next week, when you have to write your fable, you're going to be turning it into a speech. It's going to be the second time you get up and stand in front of class and talk. You're going to have to follow these. Because if you have a bully in your story, it's going to have to be like a bear or a wolf. You're going to throw a fast character. So in other words, if you tell me that you're going to tell the fable called The Bear and the Rabbit, I know you're going to have a bully and a fast one. So it'll work out. If you were wanting to throw a slow character in, what kind of character, Grizzle?
Either a turtle.
Turtle would
or
work.
a snail.
Or a snail would work. There's also another one that likes to hang upside down from trees.
Monkey! No, I know!
Oh my
Apparently it'll become a
It's my favorite. I love these.
Pharrell?
What is it called?
Please, they're my
koala bear.
They're my favorite animal.
Not quite.
They're my favorite
Oh, I
animal.
know.
Sloths. I love sloths.
I could Google one.
They're so cute.
Sloth. And sloth in Australia are called koalas. They're the same animal.
No, they're not.
Not even close. There's always trying to lie to the dumb kids.
They have like 10 inch balls.
Or
But your favorite animal?
you get in trouble yelling out someone's name. There's a farm animal which is thought to be really dumb to the point that even when it's sleeping, you can just walk up and push it over, and it's so dumb it just goes and then just flies right down to the ground.
You just gave him?
I know.
It's been a cow.
A cow usually plays the dumb animal in Donkeys are actually stubborn. They're the ones that if you're going to have a stubborn animal that don't.
Cows would be sassy.
Once again, 7th graders could work for this role. I understand completely. But oftentimes your parents will make fun of you when they come into your room. Apparently this has happened in your house, Jeremy.
A pig.
Is correct.
Hey, my stepmom can't judge me. Her room is as messy as mine.
So glad you said that on camera.
Oh.
It's okay. They have no idea what Spangler talk. Oh, never mind. If you have one that is hungry and eats everything, like tin cans and things you drop in front of them, Luke, me, teenage boy, would probably work for that role. But technically, they're not really a farm animal.
A hippo.
Bale,
Goats and children.
goats, and will sometimes eat small children.
Those are not animals.
No, they are. It's a billy goat, not just a goat. Oh, okay.
They've read stories.
I love sloths.
Unlike many of the ones of you in our class, there are sometimes animals that don't talk or are shy. And so we have a shy, quiet one. Sometimes I've seen giraffes show up, but not as often because they weren't real popular in fables. Yeah.
A snake.
Close. Actually, snakes don't pop up a whole lot for some reason. And they weren't evil until Christianity, which came after this. Christianity didn't exist yet because Jesus hadn't been born. Yeah?
Mouse.
Mouse actually shows up. Deer will show up. And I've seen a couple ones with kittens also. And kittens are sometimes like the shy or quiet little animals.
I love cats.
I don't like them.
And the one that's going to connect to a lot of you, apparently, is one that we're going to have the talkative and the outgoing animals.
That's me. That's me.
There's a bird that is often known for talking quite a bit.
Robin.
Oh,
no.
Grizzle
Isn't it like a hummingbird?
actually is known for being high energy, but not for speaking. But close. There's actually a bird that will talk to you.
Wait, is a
Alana?
monkey?
A parrot.
The parrot.
Katie.
And there is a small Hispanic dog, which is known for being nonstop, full
A
of
chihuahua.
eagerness.
Or
Why are you
not
guys
parrot.
yelling out?
The chihuahua.
No, it's a
Children
chihuahua.
are the worst. I keep trying to get rid of them.
I think this is
Chihuahua and the parrot.
chihuahua.
It's not fun to
Chihuahua.
say.
Thank you. Chihuahua.
That's clever.
That's fun. That is
When you go that far, you'll give me a big head. Then, once you have that, we're done with the... See, because chihuahuas have big heads. And so, you can put the Put to the side.
My dog has
Dump that. And we're going to take a look at a couple fables. See how well we can learn.
I'm looking at the don't send it.
Good talk, good talk.
Oh yeah. What? What side?
With our fables,
What is that for?
we had these. You don't have to write down. They're already on your the fable homework. They're the examples that are there. But I wanted to run through and take a look at them. We have 3 different types of fables. What was the first one?
Traditional.
And then,
Modern.
and then.
Modern.
So for each one of these, we're going to figure out if it's traditional versus modern. It's usually easy to figure out if one's a verse fable, because if it's a verse fable, how's it written?
Poem.
Is this one written as a poem?
No.
No, so it's not going to be a verse, which means it's either traditional or modern.
I didn't know.
If it's modern, what is it going to have in it?
Talk.
Selfie stick.
Selfie sticks. So as we read it, if it has modern stuff, today-y stuff, then it's going to be modern. If not, then it's just going to be traditional. Also, I cut off the very end of it because every fable ends with the moral. I want to see if you can figure out the moral, so it's not on there.
Go on the website.
I'll read it.
Yeah, it is.
It is. You download it. It's actually in your iPad right now. It is.
Oh, it is. It's not in my iPad.
I figure for now we're going to try learning together.
I like
Oh, and you'll also notice it's all of 4 paragraphs in length. This is like one of the longer ones because I have faith in your ability to get through it.
Okay.
But I figured 4 paragraphs.
I don't know.
Oh, one last thing. The Lion and the Mouse, whenever we have the title to a fable, it's almost always going to be just the names of the animals in the story. Without reading this one, knowing it's the Lion and the Mouse, what kind of characters are we going to have? The Lion is going to be
me.
mean and a bully. The mouse is going to be?
Shy.
There you go. So now you're going to have a bully and a shy one. Once, when a lion was asleep, a little mouse began running up and down on him. This soon woke the lion, who placed his huge paw on top of him and opened his big jaws to swallow him.
Pardon, O King of the Jungle.
Cried the little mouse.
Forgive me this time. I shall never forget it. Who knows? But I may be able to do you a favor one of these days.
The lion was so amused at the idea of the mouse being able to help him that he lifted up his paw and let him go. Some weeks after this, the lion was caught in a trap, and the hunters who desired to carry him alive to the king tied him to a tree while they went in search of a wagon in which to carry him. Just then, the little mouse happened to pass by, and, seeing the sad condition in which the lion was caught and tied, went up to him, and soon gnawed away the ropes that bound the king of the beasts.
Was I not right?
Said the little mouse, and the lion learned a lesson. What is the lesson the lion is supposed to learn? The moral's not on there. Here's where you have to be able to do the whole thinking thing they say that's going to be coming real popular soon. Pharrell?
That you should respect a mouse when he's telling you something.
How so? Connected to the story.
I forget.
Solid beginning. Brady.
What goes around comes around, like the lion let the mouse go, so in return the mouse helped him out.
I can see that. That could work. Luke?
Oh, there's your book by its cover.
How so?
Like the lion was like, you can't do a favor for me because you're so small, and the mouse did a favor for him. So
I like it too. Oftentimes for the fables, they'll have multiple morals that could work. I think both of those could work. The one they have is slightly different, which is not a person's size that counts, but I think all of those morals would work well. Nice. Oh, and was this modern or traditional? Traditional. Excellent. Traditional. No selfie sticks in this one. The tortoise and the hare. So this one, I know you're familiar with it, but because of how it's written, we've not seen one yet. And how is this one written?
Verse.
So it's going to be written as a poem, so it's going to be a verse fable. And I've left off the last line, which once again is the moral. So we're going to see if you guys can figure it out when we get there. And this was written by one of my students, so I gave her credit up there. There was a hare just hopping by. Right then a tortoise caught his eye. He said, "Hi, tortoise, how are you? I bet I'm faster than you." The tortoise said, "Oh, no contraire, I'm much faster than a hare." The hare said, "Fine, we'll take a test. I'll show you I'm the very best." They stood behind the starting line, while the hare thought, "This race is mine." Bang! That was the gun. Now go! The hare took off and stubbed his toe. Oh well, who cares? He is too fast. He knew the tortoise would be last. He tripped and skipped along the track, but he could not stop looking back. The tortoise was not anywhere. He was too slow for the hare. As he finished, he could see something standing by the tree. It was the tortoise. He had won. The tortoise said that race was fun. Then he laughed in the hare's face. And the last line is...
He came first place.
No. What's the moral? Bail.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady wins the race.
How'd
So
you know?
there's because we talked about it yesterday.
Because it's one of those.
And it
Right.
rhymes, all that fun stuff there.
Oh, no.
There's our verse fable, which means we have one fable type left, which is...
Modern.
Selfie sticks.
So let's take a look at the bad kangaroo.
She was hit her.
Now the kangaroo is not shown up in any of our motifs yet, so we have no idea what to expect. But the kangaroo is going to have,
Sassy.
I don't know, we'll find out. All right. There was a small kangaroo who was bad in school. He put thumbtacks on the teacher's chair. He threw spitballs across the classroom. He set off firecrackers in the lavatory and spread glue on the doorknobs. "Your behavior is impossible," said the school principal. "I am going to see your parents, and I will tell them what a problem you are." The principal went to visit Mr. and Mrs. Kangaroo. He sat down in a living room chair. "Ouch!" cried the principal. "There's a thumbtack in this chair." "Yeah, I know," said Mr. Kangaroo. "I enjoy putting thumbtacks in chairs." There was suddenly a loud noise from down the hallway. "Forgive me," said Mrs. Kangaroo to the principal. "The firecrackers that we keep in the medicine chest have just exploded. We love the noise." The principal rushed for the front door. In an instant, he was stuck to the doorknob. "Pull hard," said Mr. Kangaroo. "There are little globs of glue on all of our doorknobs." The principal pulled himself free. He dashed out of the house and ran off down the street. "Such a nice person," said Mr. Kangaroo. "I wonder why he left so quickly." "No doubt he had another appointment," said Mrs. Kangaroo. "Never mind, supper's ready." Mr. and Mrs. Kangaroo and their son enjoyed their evening meal. After dessert, they all threw spitballs at each other across the dining room table. And then the last part's the moral. What is it we learn from this one? Alana.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
And how does that connect?
That the little kid was acting bad in school because his parents do the same thing.
Not bad. I can see that. Did she steal yours? How horrible for being right like that. Not quite the same way they have it worded, but I like it. It's from the same idea. A child's actions shall reflect that of their parents. The idea that oftentimes kids do the same thing as the parents do. When the parents make poor choices, then the kids are going to make those same choices. When the parents sit in class playing on their phone, kids are going to sit in class playing on their phone. So it's the same idea where they lose points that way. Oh, come on by now. You guys should know I'm not going to look at the kid who's actually making the poor choice. I get you guys to look in a different direction. I know, it's not him. He's fine. And so, don't worry, problem solved. We're all good. Let's take a look at... They're haters. They're perfectly safe. It was not you. We'll take a look at another one called Boy Trouble. On this one, I'm not going to tell you which kind it is. It'll be up for you to figure it out. Just jumping right to that one, huh? Once upon a time, there was a group of friends. In that group of friends, there was Cat. Oh, this one was also written by a student. Cat, Butterfly, Deer, and Panther. One day, they were all hanging out at the mall when Jaguar came strolling by. All four friends stopped and stared, for he was very cute. "I'm not standing around with you losers," Panther said. "I'm going to get me a hot new boyfriend." Panther strutted her stuff and walked right up to Jaguar. "Hey," she said. "Hey," he replied. "You're fine. Let's go hang out, baby." So Jaguar and Panther left the other friends standing and staring. "We don't need her," Cat said. "She's so stupid to go with Jaguar." "She's so ugly compared to me. Jaguar will never like her," Butterfly said. "Be nice," Deer said rather shyly. "She can do what she wants." Panther and Jaguar were walking through the forest when Jaguar saw a very pretty tiger. "Heck with you," Jaguar said. "I'm her boyfriend now." Jaguar ran over to Tiger, and they walked away slowly together. "I can't believe I was so foolish to think he would like me," Panther cried. Just then, the three friends walked up. "It's okay," Deer replied. "We're still your friends," sighed Butterfly. "I can't believe you still like me," mumbled Panther. And the moral of this fable is, what is it we should learn here? Mooey?
Friends come first.
How so? Sounded strong. And support young.
Yeah, I was gonna, like that friends do come first
Okay.
because like they're your friends and they're like with you because they know a lot more things about you and they're like care about you. But like just a random boy, they don't know anything about you and they don't care about you.
Random boys. Aaron,
So put all your eggs in one basket
how so?
because Panther abandoned her friends to go out with one person.
A silly boy. And let's see, we have friends should come before boys. Nice enough. Say bye.
What if your friends are boys?
Well, in that case, you know, how very, very confusing. And then that's, coming up on Monday. What do we have on Monday?
Test.
Quiz, but yeah. Over this information, you're going to be able to read a fable on your own and figure out the moral all on your own as part of the quiz. And what do you have to have by Monday? Well, a reading log is part of it. Nice, well done. Your book report book.